All right.
Hi, I'm Neil Prashant.
Hi, my name's Joseph. Today we're going to be demonstrating our two projects. The first one is a TV remote, and the second is a movie watch list. So let me share my screen. All right. In our first iteration of this project on a basic UI, we did not include a power button, which was kind of dumb on our part, but we made sure to include the power button. Its initialized state, the TV screen or the screen for the remote is off and the volume bar is at 0. If we power it on, it's initialized with the Cartoon Network image, which is the very first channel, and the volume is at 0. You can increase the volume by increments of half here. You can mute it, which blacks out the bar. Unmute it, it saves your progress. You can select any channel of your choosing. You can cycle through the channels going up. You can cycle through the channels going down. And when you turn off the TV remote and then you turn it back on, it saves your progress as well. And it does this for any sort of combination that you choose.
All right. For the second part of our project, we made a movie/TV watch list, and I'll pull that up real quick. It's right here. But in our first iteration, we were talking with Professor Reisman, and he said that we should add a back button for our watch list and also a way to filter this. So today I'll go through the first part of the title and then the second. So this first part of the title is essentially adding things to the watch list. So we can start with Into the Spider-Verse. Try that. That was a movie. And click on that. I think it was an action movie. We'll put in a 97 because it was a good movie. And we can write that here. This was a great movie. And we can add that to the watch list. And if we click this button that says view list, we can go into the second half of this project where we talk about essentially the watch list where you can see all the movies you've watched and essentially how you rated it. One of the biggest things was adding this back button because we didn't have that previously, so we can go back to the first slide. So this first slide, we can add another movie. We'll say Endgame this time. That was also a movie, and you know what? We'll say this was a thriller movie. This movie, we'll put a 75 for, and then we have watched it. This movie was good. Could be better. Now let's add this to the watch list and see how this watch list updates. We'll add one more as a TV show. In this instance, we'll put The Office. This was a TV show, and I'd say this was a comedy. For here, we can put, um, we'll say 25. It was overrated. Now we can add this to our watch list and check in one more time. So here we can see how we have the review, if we watched it or not, the ratings, genre, type, and the title. And this filter button, which was asked to us by Professor Reisman, you can click on it and it'll essentially bring up this pop-up where you can rank it by the title, where it goes into alphabetics, and or you could do it by rating, or raise it from high to low. The type, which does it by the type from movies to TV shows, and then finally by genre, which will categorize it by the genre. And finally, you can hit back, and yeah, you're back to the screen, and you can make updates as is, and it'll continuously update in this filter position.
All right. So now for the final part, we have a little slideshow that we can show up. Let me share my screen yet again. All right, so obviously you already know us too. Here, our implementation, as we both mentioned in our respective projects, we added a volume bar, channel screen. You can cycle between the channel and volume, as well as included a power button that wasn't originally there. And then for the movie list, we added a filter that you can use for the type, the genre, the rating, etc. And you can add movies to a list that's saved in a CSV file. And then, in conclusion, some new concepts learned during project development. We learned how to sort objects through Lambda functions. This was a pretty hard thing to like get across, and we actually had to ask some advice from some other people as well. And then, you can cover the challenges encountered.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we encountered some challenges, and the biggest feature was the sorting feature. This was something that was asked of us from Reisman, and we actually used the help of generative AI, essentially Claude, Anthropic, to kind of teach us how to make it and kind of how to develop in a way that it would affect our project and affect our project in a positive light.
All right. And then the concepts that we had developed and we kind of came to appreciate in doing this was that it actually takes quite a bit of work to connect user inputs with your respective program. Like, it's not just like, oh, you can just click it. You literally have to connect each separate input and then make sure that that display is correct. And it takes a lot more work than I think people realize. And honestly, it makes it like significantly more elegant for a UI. So that's what we came to appreciate. Thank you
Yeah.
for your time and hope you had a great semester, Mr. Eastman. Bye.
Thank you.